Hello, everybody. How are you today? Welcome to Monday Simply Stampin' in the Meadow. My name is Verna Mullen, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Western New York State, and I'm really excited to be with you here tonight and share a really cute gift card. So welcome. I'll talk a little bit while I'm waiting for some people to jump on. And last week, Teresa Heimlich, you won the gems for commenting and sharing. And I will be popping them in the mail to you. And if you comment and share, you will get into a drawing for, usually it's a pack of gems or designer series paper. And every week I give something away. So I had a great time at a retreat with my upline Friday. It was in Auburn, New York, and it was wonderful with Missy Shipman. Great ideas and beautiful projects. This Thursday we have Stampin' in the Valley at the Kindest American Legion. I'm really excited about that. Hey, Lisa, thank you for sharing. And that's at 6:30 p.m. And if you're interested in that, if you live in Western New York and the Canisteo, Hornell, Greenwood, Avoca area, just shoot me an email at vernastamps@gmail.com. And it's $20 or free with a $25 purchase that night. And I'm excited about that. I'm going to bring some kits for cash and carry. And also, I have 3 beautiful cards to share that you will make, 2 of each. So that will be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. Okay, I'm going to go down to the project, and we'll put the camera down here. I'm going to go to our project view. Whoops. Project view. There we go. Okay. So this is a cute gift card holder. It's made with Storybook Gnomes Bundle. Well, that's a suite, and the Kindest Gnomes is the bundle. And it has the little gnome dies. I'll show them to you. They're here. There's a mushroom and a beard and the gnome hat, and then little feet, some mushrooms or acorns, and there's 3 different little gnomes in the designer series paper and the stamp set, and those will cut them out. And this is a stamp set right here. Sorry about the glare. And the designer series paper is really beautiful. Let me show that to you. First of all, this is the whole suite in the mini catalog. Let me share. And then here's the designer series paper, and it's really cute. And the little gnome, the whole suite comes with a ribbon, these dots, and this Snowfall Accents puff paint, which I might try tonight. I haven't tried using that yet. So this was a card that I had taken for a card exchange, card swap. So this is some of the mushrooms that you can die cut. And then there's a sheet here with the deer and the fox and the bunnies. Isn't that pretty? Here's scraps of something I was working on. Here's little gnomes in the valley. There's snow and mushrooms. And let me find the sheet with let me pull this whole thing out here. All right, so some of these gnomes I've die cut out, or you could fussy cut them if you don't have the dies. Aren't they cute? And there's the paper. And there's one here with the deer. I love this. And here's trees and mountains and snow. So, but you could make them for even fall. They would be cute. Hey, Teresa. Teresa, you won the gems from last week for commenting and sharing. So I'll pop them in the mail to you. All right, so let's get started. So for this little gift card holder, this is what it looks like here. We're going to start with a card base that is 5.5 by 4.25, and I'm using Knight of Navy, and that's right here. And then you're going to need a piece of designer series paper, and I'm using a strip from the Kindest or the Storybook Gnomes designer series paper. Gotta grab my glue. All right, sorry about that. You're welcome. All right, so we're gonna add a little adhesive to the back of this, and I'm using our Tombow glue. I just have it in a different holder. Now, if you're doing this on grid paper, it's nice because I'm going to line my card base up on the grid paper, and then you can line it up this way, and you'll know it's straight. All right, so we've got that on there. Now I'm going to make the gift card holder. So we need a piece of balmy blue, and this is supposed to be 8.5 by 4.25. I just want to make sure this is right. 4.25 by 8.5. Let's see here. Okay, that is right. And we're going to score this at 2.5 and 5.5. So right here. Hey, Margaret. 2.5 and 5.5. There we go. And don't forget it's celebration time. So for every $50 in order or product that you purchase, you get something free from the celebration catalog. And if you shop with me and you use this host code here at checkout with an order of $50 or more, I will send you some little gems. Okay, so this is what we've got right now. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the basic border dies, and I'm going to just cut this edge a little bit. You don't have to do that if you don't have a die cut machine. And I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to put my phone up a little bit higher here. Excuse me while I'm doing that. The jiggling of the phone. Okay, and this is a nice machine. It opens out, closes up for storage. And I'm going to put this right on here, make a sandwich. I've got my basic bottom plates. This plate, excuse the way it looks, it's really well worn. And I'm going to bring in my little card here, and this is the end that I want to cut with the die. Now, if I can just find what I did with the die. I know I brought it over here. Hang on. Here it is. I left it on the cover. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this on here like that. I'm going to grab some Post-it tape. This is a great little stuff to have in your craft room. And I just want it in like, maybe 1/2 inch, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So I've got that taped on there so I don't have to worry about it coming off or coming loose. And then I'm going to lay the plate over. And I'm going to run this through. I've got like my computer on here and my light stand and tight fit there. Okay, so we're gonna take that off there and that gives that a nice edge like that. Now while we've got the die machine out, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the little gnome pieces. We'll set the card aside. And I'm going to bring this back over here. For his little nose, I've got Petal Pink. I've got, I think this is Poppy Parade for the hat. And his beard, I've got Basic White. And for his little feet, I've got Night of Navy. And I'm going to cut these all at once and save a little time doing it that way. So this is the detail on the beard die. It has the nose and the beard. This is the hat. We'll put that right there. Here's the nose and the little feet. And we need our plate to lay over that. Okay, and there it is. Okay, I just had it. Okay, so then we're just going to run these through. Whoops, sorry about the shaking. And I'm going to pull this off. Okay, so there's the little nose, and you can see the detail on the beard and the nose. The little feet, there's little shoelaces. I don't know if you can see that. And then there is stitching on the hat. So that's really cute. And we will set these aside. Okay, and I'm going to pull my phone back down. Right like that. All right. So let's put our inside of our card together. We've got the little pieces here. All the little pieces. And before we put the gnome on the front, I'm going to add some designer series paper on the inside. And I've got a piece that's 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. And I'm going to put this right here. This is our in color designer series paper. The 2022 2024 in color, and this is Starry Sky. I'm just bringing it down a little bit below the score line. Okay, and then I'm going to grab our decorative circle punch. And you could use a different circle punch. I like the design of this, and I'm just gonna punch that for a little notch to be able to easily pull the gift card in and out. And then we're gonna glue this just on the sides here to make the pocket. You wanna go as close to the edge as you can. I'm gonna hold that down a minute. Looks a little crooked. Okay. I'm gonna move that over a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna add a piece of the red sweet sorbet from that same designer series paper on the edge here. and that will show on the front. And I'll have the measurements to this in my blog post about it, and I'll put a link to it below this post on my Facebook page. And this leaves room for you to sign it here. Okay, so let's do the front of the card. And I forgot to do my little die cut. This is from the He's All That Dies, this die cut. And I'm just going to take a little strip of white paper and stamp that on there. I'm not going to use the die. And you can very easily make this card without fancy dies. Like you could just cut this off right here. You don't have to have the fancy border. And you don't have to use the basic border dies for that. All right, so let's cut off a little strip for our sentiment. Whoops. And I'm going to stamp this with warm wishes. Okay, warm wishes right here. Grab my Starry Sky ink. You could do this card with other sets too. Wouldn't have to be the gnome. That right there is going to be a problem. Let's see if I can ink it up without it getting on the card set. Yep, I guess that's okay. So we got warm wishes. My mom is down at my brother's in York, Pennsylvania, visiting, so she's not on tonight. And we'll just cut that on a slant like that. And this might be too wide. Okay, we'll see when we get the gnome on there. If it's too wide, we'll cut it down. Okay, so now for our gnome, I started with the feet first, down here. I'm just going to glue them on. And I did center it looking from this side to this side. I've got something a little bit sticky here. I'm going to grab my glue eraser and get that off there. This is another must-have item for your craft room. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but it takes glue off very nicely. So that's gone. All right, the beard is next. And with this beard, what's kind of odd about it is you would think it should go like this maybe, but you want to line it up so the nose is straight at the top. There we go. Oops. Like that. And then I'm going to pop his little pink nose up with a dimensional. We're actually using 2 mini dimensionals. I found that 2 minis will fit on there, but I'm going to put the hat on first. Okay, so the hat will sit on like that. Got glue or something on there. Thank you for sharing, Margaret. Okay, so for the nose, oops. And you want to put these over as far as you can to the side, and then you can fit 2 of them on there. Okay. Let's do this. Let's hold that there. Okay. Do any of you have this set? I'm curious to know. All right, so we've got that on there. Let's see if this will fit up here. Yeah, that'll fit on there. I think I'm going to glue that down instead of using dimensionals. Warm wishes. All right, and then we'll glue him onto the base here. Oh, Teresa, you have it? Yeah, I love it too. All right, and I'm just going to center it on there like that. It could go up just a little, but I'm going to leave it like that. And now I had used rhinestones, but I think I'll use the blue gems that go with this set. Sweet. Oh, I think it's these. The fine sparkle. Let me take a look here. Yep. Fine sparkle adhesive back gems. There's this is supposed to be sweet sorbet, but it's more of a pinkish. And there was like a lighter color. I'm going to use the darker blue here. Well, let's use 2 of the larger ones. One of the small ones. Okay, so that's done. Warm wishes, and this will fit. This is a gift card holder. It'll fit inside your regular medium-sized envelopes, and you could write in here. Sorry, that was up too high. Or you could even put a piece of cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4 of the white on the back here. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll post the measurements and the link to my blog. Okay, take care. Have a good night. And I won't be on Wednesday this week. I'm doing Farm Fresh cards every other week, so this is the week off. I will see you next Monday night. Take care.